There is a distinct difference between those who hurt you unintentionally and those who harmed you with full awareness. One is a mistake, a moment of misjudgment, a flaw in human imperfection. The other is a choice, a deliberate act of neglect, betrayal, or cruelty. And yet, too many women find themselves giving second chances to those who never deserved the first. They excuse behavior, justify actions, and cling to the hope that someone who broke them will suddenly learn to heal them. But here is the truth. The person who shattered you once is often the same person who will do it again. You cannot rewrite the past by pretending their intentions were pure when their actions proved otherwise. And so, before you even consider letting someone back into your life, you must ask yourself 3 eye-opening questions that will reveal your hidden self, the part of you that still seeks closure, still craves validation, and still believes that love should hurt before it heals. The first question is, why am I considering giving them another chance? Be honest. Is it because you truly believe they have changed, or is it because you are afraid of letting go? Many times we mistake attachment for love, pain for passion, and history for destiny. But familiarity does not mean fulfillment. Just because they were once a part of your life does not mean they deserve a place in your future. If the only reason you want them back is because you miss them, then you are setting yourself up for another heartbreak. Missing someone is not the same as needing them. The second question is, what have they done to prove they are different? Apologies are easy, words are cheap, but actions, consistent, intentional, selfless actions are rare. If they only say they have changed but have done nothing to show it, then they have not changed at all. Ask yourself, have they taken responsibility for the damage they cause? Have they made any real effort to correct their mistakes? Are they all actions they are unwilling to correct? Or are they simply hoping you have softened enough to let them back in without consequences? If their return is fueled by convenience rather than true remorse, then you are inviting the same pain back into your life under a different disguise. The third question is, what part of me still believes I deserve this? This is the hardest question of all, because if you are even considering letting someone who intentionally hurt you back into your life, then there is a part of you that has not yet healed, a part of you that still doubts your worth, that still believes love requires suffering. But real love does not destroy. Real love does not manipulate. Real love does not come back only when it's convenient. Too many women fall into the trap of believing that if they just love harder, wait longer, or forgive more, the person who hurt them will miraculously transform. But the painful reality is that people don't change because you suffered for them. They don't suddenly wake up one day with a new heart just because you gave them another opportunity to break it. Change is a decision, not a convenience. And if they were capable of hurting you once without remorse, they are capable of doing it again. Your kindness is not a weakness, but giving your heart to someone who has proven they will mishandle it is self-sabotage. This is why the most important thing you can do is recognize the pattern before it repeats. Look back at the moments you excused their behavior, the times you silenced your intuition because you wanted to believe their words more than their actions, the times they walked away when you needed them most, only to return when it suited them. If you give them a second chance, what evidence do you have that it won't end the same way? Sometimes the hardest part is admitting that the love you wanted was never real, that the connection you fought for was one-sided, that the version of them you fell for was just an illusion. But here's the truth. Real love does not require suffering. Real love does not ask you to betray yourself to keep someone else. And the right person for you will never be the one who treated you like an option, a convenience, or a backup plan. Ask yourself, if someone else came to you with your story, if they told you about the pain they endured, would you tell them to go back? Would you tell them to ignore the red flags, to risk their heart again, to trust the same hands that once shattered them? If your answer is no, then why do you not offer yourself the same wisdom? Why do you believe that your situation is different, that this time will be the exception? The truth is, people who damage you on purpose do not expect you to walk away. They rely on your empathy. They know that your heart is forgiving, that your soul is kind, that you see the good even in those who do not deserve it. But kindness must have boundaries. Love must have limits, and self-respect must always be stronger than nostalgia. They may come back with apologies, with promises, with words designed to pull at your heartstrings, but words without action are manipulation. Regret is not the same as accountability, and someone who truly values you will not wait until they've lost you to start treating you right. Love should never require begging for basic decency. If they could hurt you once without remorse, they are capable of doing it again. And here's the most difficult truth. People who damage you on purpose are not afraid of losing you. They are afraid of losing control over you. They are afraid that you will finally see your worth, that you will stop excusing their behavior, that you will realize you were never the problem, it was always them. Their return is not about love. It's about testing whether they still have access to you. So when they reach out, when they try to weave their way back into your life, you must ask yourself, am I responding out of self-love or out of fear of letting go? Have they actually changed, or are they just hoping I have forgotten? What does keeping them in my life truly cost me? Because letting them back in does not just cost you time, it costs you peace. It costs you self-worth. It costs you the growth you worked so hard to achieve. It costs you another cycle of pain, disappointment, and regret. Your future cannot hold the love you deserve if your heart is still occupied by the love that broke you. The door you refuse to close is the very thing blocking your healing, and you deserve healing. You deserve the kind of love that never makes you question whether you are enough. The kind of love that does not take years of pain to prove itself. The kind of love that is patient, present, and consistent. But before you can receive that kind of love, you must be willing to walk away from everything that is not. You must be willing to say, I am worth more than a second chance for someone who didn't value the first. You must be willing to trust that real love will never require you to lower your standards just to keep it. So, when the past comes knocking, let silence be your answer. Let your growth be your response. Let your refusal to entertain what once destroyed you be the proof that you have learned your worth. The greatest mistake you can make is believing that giving someone a second chance will erase the first. The only way to break the cycle is to choose yourself first. Because at the end of the day, the real question is not whether they have changed. The real question is, have you? Walking away from someone who damaged you on purpose is not just about leaving them behind. It's about rediscovering yourself. It's about healing from the wounds they left, reclaiming the power they tried to steal, and stepping into a life where you no longer settle for less than you deserve. But healing is not an overnight process. It's a journey, and it begins with one crucial decision: choosing yourself. At first, the silence may feel unbearable. You've spent so long fighting for someone who never fought for you. You've spent countless nights wondering what you could have done differently, replaying the memories, trying to find the moment it all fell apart. But here's the truth. It fell apart the moment they chose to hurt you, the moment they decided your heart was disposable, the moment they proved they were never the right person for you. Your first step to rebuilding is understanding that letting go is not losing, it's winning. You did not lose a love that was meant for you. You released a burden disguised as love. You did not lose your future. You set yourself free from a past that could never have given you what you truly needed. And now, for the first time, you have a chance to build a life without their shadows looming over you. But to fully heal, you must face the emotions that come with it. Grief, anger, betrayal, loneliness. These are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you are human. Do not run from them. Do not numb them with distractions, meaningless relationships, or fake positivity. Sit with them. Feel them. Let them pass through you, because every tear shed is a step closer to freedom. Every moment of pain is proof that you are finally releasing what was never meant to stay.